I'm going to sit. Thank you. Makes me more comfortable.
Okay.
Okay. Amanda Grossman, speech 2, Professor Donner, COM 181. Okay. Childhood obesity has nearly doubled in adolescents and, doubled in children and tripled in adolescents over the past 30 years. Overweight, as defined by the Center for Disease Control website, is having excess body weight for a particular height. This can come from a combination of muscle, bone, and water. Obesity is defined as having excess body fat. According to a study that was published in the September issue of the journal Pediatrics, obese youth are more likely to have an increased risk for cardiovascular disease, diabetes, certain cancers, and most obese children will be obese as adults. Some habits that can affect whether or not a child will become obese is healthy eating and physical activity. These both greatly affect whether or not the child has a higher risk for becoming obese. A study done by the University of Michigan found a link between middle school age children and obesity that was directly related to consuming a school lunch and watching a certain number of hours of television each day. I believe that number was 2. Any time spent watching TV or playing video games directly takes away from the healthy lifestyle habits they should have, like playing outside, participating in sports, just not sitting stationary. Eating school lunches raise the risk of obesity in boys by 29%, and in girls it raised their risk by 27%. They found that girls who consumed 2 servings of milk each day lowered this risk. However, the same correlation was not found for boys. Boys who were active on sports teams, however, did reduce their risk and had healthier weights. They also found that heart disease begins in childhood and adolescence. It's also important to point out that most children who depend on school lunches may already be obese or at risk for becoming obese because of family history and socioeconomic status. It's more costly to eat healthy foods. It's more costly to eat healthy foods than it is to eat foods that are high in calories. As a parent myself of 3 young children, I try to not buy processed foods as much as possible, limit their sugar intakes, and provide drinks like low-fat milk and water, as opposed to juices that are filled with high fructose corn syrup. Also limiting children's game time, TV time, and increasing their outdoor activity will help to make sure that they don't become at risk for being obese. And getting your children involved in activities like jogging, bicycling, and sports. In recent years, schools nationwide have been overhauling their lunch programs, offering healthier alternatives like fruits and veggies, whole grains, and replacing sugary drinks with water and low-fat milk. The University of Michigan implemented a study called the SPARK program, which actually integrated physical activities into the daily classroom time, so like jump rope, frisbee, and tag. It was proven that when students are involved in a physical activity program, there's an improved rate of learning per unit of classroom time. Parents can help at home, again, by limiting TV time, serving low-calorie meals, choosing to buy low-fat milk over sugary juices, and having kids get used to drinking water between meals, which helps to keep them full.